This is Mr. Eugene, and today we're addressing something that destroys more relationships for older men than almost any other dynamic, and yet most men create this problem themselves without realizing it. Here's the pattern. You meet a woman. You're attracted. You want to build something. So you invest heavily. You plan the dates. You pay for everything. You provide the attention, the emotional support, the effort. You're carrying the entire relationship on your back. And you do this hoping that at some point she'll start reciprocating, she'll start investing, she'll start contributing to what you're building together. Except that almost never happens, because you've already established the pattern. You've taught her that this is a relationship where you provide everything and she receives. And now, 6 months in, a year in, maybe even years in, you're exhausted, resentful, and wondering why she only seems interested in what you can do for her rather than in actually building something mutual. And here's the uncomfortable truth. She's not the problem. You created this dynamic. From the very beginning, you structured the relationship in a way that rewarded her passivity. You made it so comfortable for her to simply receive that she had no reason to contribute. And now you're stuck in a relationship that you built to fail. If you're an older man with experience, you probably know this by now. Relationships only work when both people invest. When one person carries everything, resentment builds. Balance creates respect. Imbalance creates contempt. Today we're examining why men, especially older men who should know better, create one-sided relationships, why women who are genuinely interested actually want to contribute, how to ask for contribution early in a way that reveals her interest and character, and why the man who demands nothing often gets exactly that, nothing. This is not about being demanding or transactional. This is about establishing partnership from the beginning, rather than trying to retrofit reciprocity into a relationship built on you doing everything. Stay with me. This might save you from wasting months or years on someone who was never going to be a real partner. The ferry boat captain mistake, carrying her across water she should be swimming. Let me start with an analogy that makes the problem clear. Imagine you're a ferry boat captain. A woman needs to get across the river. You invite her aboard, you steer the boat, you do all the work of getting her across. She sits comfortably as a passenger. Now imagine that when you reach the other side, you turn to her and say, "Okay, now I need you to help paddle." What do you think her response will be? She's going to look at you like you're insane, because you just spent the entire journey training her to be a passenger. You established the dynamic where you do the work and she receives the benefit. And now you're trying to change that dynamic after the pattern is set. This is exactly what most men do in relationships. You start by doing everything, planning dates, paying for everything, providing all the emotional labor, doing all the pursuing. She gets comfortable receiving your effort without needing to reciprocate. Months or years later, you're frustrated that she doesn't contribute. You try to ask for more, and she's confused or resistant because this isn't the relationship you built. You cannot start a relationship where you do everything and then later ask for partnership. The pattern is already established, she's already a passenger, and transforming a passenger into a partner is nearly impossible. The solution: set the correct dynamic from the beginning. Make it clear through your behavior that this is a partnership where both people contribute, not a service where you provide and she receives. Why women who are genuinely interested want to contribute. Here's something most men don't understand. Women who are genuinely attracted to and interested in you actually want to contribute to the relationship, not because they have to, but because nurturing and supporting a man they value is fulfilling to them. This is feminine nature. Women are wired to nurture, to care for, to support, to build alongside someone they respect and are attracted to. When a woman truly likes you, she gets pleasure from doing things that make your life better. The problem is, most men never give women the opportunity to demonstrate this. They do everything themselves. They try to impress her by showing how much they can provide without needing anything from her. And in doing so, they deny her the opportunity to invest, which prevents the bonding that comes from contribution. Here's the psychological principle. People value what they invest in. The more effort, time, energy someone puts into something, the more they care about it. When you do everything for her and ask nothing from her, she has no investment. And without investment, she has no real attachment. Compare. Two scenarios. Scenario one, you plan every date, you pay for everything, you do all the emotional work, you solve all the problems. She shows up and receives. 6 months in, she can walk away easily because she's invested almost nothing. Scenario two, from the beginning, she's contributing. She suggests date ideas, she cooks for you sometimes, she helps you with things, she supports your goals. She demonstrates care through action. 6 months in, she's deeply invested because she's built this with you, not just received it from you. Which relationship is more stable? Which woman is more bonded to you? The one who contributed. Always. Why attraction changes the contribution dynamic. Here's something critical to understand: a woman's willingness to contribute is directly related to her level of attraction and respect for you. When a woman is highly attracted to you, she wants to please you. She wants to support you. She wants to be valuable to you. She gets satisfaction from doing things that make your life better. Contributing feels natural and fulfilling to her. When a woman is not attracted to you or sees you as lower value, she expects you to earn her attention through effort and resources. She sees contribution as beneath her. She positions herself as the prize you're trying to win. Any request for reciprocity feels like you're being demanding or not understanding your role. This is why the same request, "Would you mind picking up dinner tonight?" gets completely different responses depending on her level of attraction. High attraction: "Of course. What would you like?" Low attraction: "Why should I? You're the one who wanted to see me." Same request, completely different response, based entirely on how she perceives your value relative to hers. This is also why self-improvement matters so much. The man who is fit, well-dressed, financially stable, purposeful, confident, that man naturally attracts women who want to contribute because they perceive him as high value and they want to secure his investment. They know he has options, so they compete for his attention by demonstrating value. The man who is out of shape, poorly dressed, directionless, desperate, that man attracts women who expect him to prove his worth by providing everything because they perceive him as lucky to have their attention. They have options, so they expect him to compete by demonstrating what he can provide. Your level of self-development directly determines whether women see you as someone they want to contribute to or someone they expect contribution from. Modern dating culture trains women to be passive recipients. Let me acknowledge something important. Modern dating culture systematically trains women to be passive recipients rather than active contributors. The cultural narrative is women are the prize. Men pursue, men impress, men provide, men prove their worth. Women select from among their options based on who provides the most value. This dynamic is reinforced constantly. Dating advice tells women to know their worth and never settle. Men compete for female attention by demonstrating resources and status. The expectation is that men pay for dates, plan everything, pursue constantly. Women who contribute too much are told they're doing too much, or chasing this, creates women who enter dating expecting to be pursued, impressed, and provided for without needing to reciprocate until they've decided you're worthy of their investment. And here's the problem. If you accept this dynamic, if you play the game according to these rules, you're building a relationship where her passivity is the foundation. She's been trained by culture to receive. You're reinforcing that training by providing without asking for reciprocity. And 6 months from now, you'll be exhausted and resentful while she's confused about why you suddenly expect her to contribute when that was never the dynamic. How to establish contribution early, practical strategies. So how do you avoid this trap? How do you establish a relationship dynamic where both people contribute from the beginning? Strategy 1. Ask for small contributions early from the very first dates. Create opportunities for her to contribute. This doesn't mean being demanding or testing her manipulatively. This means creating natural opportunities for her to demonstrate care and investment. Examples: "I'm planning to cook dinner for us. Could you bring wine? I'd love your opinion on something I'm working on. Would you mind picking up coffee on your way over? I could use some help with specific task. Would you be interested in helping?" These are small, reasonable requests that allow her to demonstrate willingness to contribute. If she's genuinely interested in you, she'll respond positively. She'll appreciate being asked to participate. She'll enjoy the opportunity to do something for you if she's not genuinely interested. She'll resist. She'll find reasons why she can't. She'll make you feel like you're asking too much. That resistance is valuable information. It tells you early that she sees the relationship as something where you provide and she receives. And that's a relationship you should exit before you're heavily invested. Strategy 2. Let her see. You have standards. Most men are so grateful for female attention that they accept whatever effort level the woman brings. This is backwards. You should have standards for what you accept in a relationship. And one of those standards should be, I'm only interested in women who are interested in building something mutual. In practice, this looks like when she doesn't reciprocate effort, doesn't suggest plans, doesn't contribute, doesn't show interest in your life, you reduce your investment accordingly. You don't chase harder. You don't try to win her over through more effort. You mirror her energy. If she's low effort, you become low effort. If she doesn't make time for you, you don't prioritize making time for her. This accomplishes 2 things. 1, it protects you from wasting time on someone who isn't genuinely interested. 2, If she is interested but was being passive, it creates urgency for her to demonstrate her interest through action strategy. 3. Frame requests as partnership, not transactions. The key to asking for contribution without seeming demanding is framing it correctly. Not poor framing. You should help me with this because I paid for dinner. Good framing. I'd love if we could tackle this together. Are you interested in helping? The difference, the first is transactional and defensive. The second is partnership-oriented and inviting. You're not demanding reciprocity based on what you've provided. You're inviting her to participate in building something together. This framing makes contribution feel like an opportunity rather than an obligation. And women who are genuinely interested will respond positively to that invitation. Strategy 4. Observe actions, not words money. Women will say they want to contribute, they want partnership, they value mutual effort. Words are cheap. Observe actions. Questions to ask yourself: does she actually follow through when she says she wants to help? Does she suggest ways to contribute without being asked? Does she notice when you're stressed or struggling and offer support? Does she make your life easier or only add to your responsibilities? If her actions don't match her words are meaningless. You're dealing with someone who likes the idea of partnership but has no intention of actually participating in one. 3 signs. She's genuinely investing, not just receiving. Let me give you 3 concrete indicators that a woman is actually contributing rather than just passively receiving. Sign 1. She initiates. Genuine investment means she initiates. She reaches out to you, doesn't just respond when you reach out, she suggests plans, doesn't just agree to or reject your suggestions. She starts conversations about meaningful topics. She brings ideas for things you could do together. Passive reception means you do all the initiating and she just responds or doesn't. Sign 2. She supports your goals. Genuine investment means she asks about your work, your projects, your goals, offers help or support when you're working toward something, celebrates your wins with genuine enthusiasm, encourages you when things are difficult. Passive reception means she shows minimal interest in your life beyond how it affects her, sees your commitments as competition for her attention, is indifferent to your achievements, complains when your goals require time or energy. Sign 3. She makes your life easier. Genuine investment means she contributes to making your life function better. She helps with tasks when she can. She offers to pick things up, handle errands, solve problems. She creates peace rather than drama. Her presence in your life reduces stress rather than adding to it. Passive reception means you're doing everything for her while she does nothing for you. She creates more work, more stress, more difficulty. Her presence is net negative on your peace and functionality. You see all 3 signs, you're dealing with a woman who is genuinely investing. If you see none of them, you're dealing with someone who sees you as a service provider rather than a partner. Why asking for contribution actually signals long-term interest? Here's something important that many men don't realize. When you ask a woman to contribute to your life, to help you with something, to participate in your goals, to invest effort in the relationship, you're signaling that you see this as potentially long-term. Men who are only interested in casual relationships typically don't ask for contribution. Why would they? They're not trying to build anything. They're not interested in integration. They want things easy, low commitment, and simple to exit when they're done. The man who asks for contribution is communicating. I'm interested in building something real. I want to see if you're someone who can be a partner. I'm evaluating whether we can create something mutual together. This is actually attractive to women who are interested in real relationships because it signals that you're serious, that you have standards, that you're not just accepting whatever minimal effort she brings. Women who are looking for casual situations will resist contribution. They don't want integration. They don't want to invest. They want to keep things superficial and non-committal. Women who are looking for real relationships will respond positively to opportunities to contribute because they recognize that contribution creates bonding and moves the relationship towards something more substantial. So asking for contribution serves as a filter. It attracts women who want real relationships and repels women who want superficial ones, which is exactly what you want if you're looking for genuine partnership. Final thoughts. Most men who complain that women only want to take from relationships have created that dynamic themselves. They've played the ferry boat captain role, carrying her across the water while she sits comfortably as a passenger. And then they're surprised when she resists being asked to paddle. The pattern was established from the beginning. You provided everything. She received. And now that's the relationship you have. The solution: establish contribution from the beginning. Ask for small things early. Create opportunities for her to demonstrate care and investment. Observe whether she responds positively or resistantly. and adjust your investment based on what you observe. Women who are genuinely attracted to you and interested in building something real will respond positively to opportunities to contribute. They want to nurture. They want to support. They want to be valuable to you. Giving them opportunities to demonstrate that is not demanding. It's inviting them into partnership. Women who resist contribution, who expect you to do everything while they do nothing, who see your requests for reciprocity as unreasonable, these women are showing you who they are. Believe them. And exit before you waste months or years building a one-sided relationship. The healthiest relationships are not built on chasing. They're built on mutual investment. When both people show up, contribute, and build together, that's when real connection happens. That's when relationships last. And that's the relationship older men with experience should demand, not because you were entitled to it, but because you know better than to waste time on anything less. Drop a comment about your experience. Have you established contribution early or fallen into the ferry boat captain trap? Subscribe because this channel will continue teaching older men how to build relationships based on genuine partnership rather than one-sided provision. Stay wise, stay boundaried, and never carry someone who won't paddle alongside you.